specific map. Our dear viewers, it is with a heavy heart that I must inform you that Jace couldn't make it tonight. He ran into some unfortunate series of car troubles. So instead, tonight, we're bringing you a new segment, Lutheran Appreciation Hour with yours truly, Momo. I do hope you stick around as we will have a wonderful artifacts, such as sea otters not having sea otters have pockets for their favorite rocks. The giant river otter and Asian shortclaw otters are trained to fishing partners in parts of Southeast Asia. All that and much more. Oh, hi, Jace.
Hey, buddy.
Uh,
So,
yeah, I thought you couldn't make it.
yeah,
Had car troubles.
yeah. Funny thing about having car troubles, it's kind of hard to drive places with all four tires of your van flat. So,
Uh, that's unfortunate.
yeah. Also strange when there's a sharpened clamshell like right next to the tires.
I I have honestly no idea how that would happen.
Uh huh. Yeah. You know what? It's not that you tried to take over my show or anything, or that you destroyed part of my way of travel. It's mostly that was the most boring, lazy introduction. What was that? Talking about otter facts?
Uh,
What type of introduction is that? No. That's not gonna. It's not gonna cut it here. This is not how we do things here. First off, don't come to my show with no flow. You live your life as an otter, but you're a fish out of water. This is adjacent with Jace. The name writes itself. A Lutri hour should be put back on the shelf. You're a Twitch moderator, instigator, debater, deliberator, tater, hater, otter satiator. So if you need help running a show, let me know later. So now that I've put you in your place and set the pace, hello everyone. It's adjacent with Jace. Hi, Momo, the moderator. Or Mo moderator?
Hi.
Did we decide on,
I
that one?
I believe Eric likes to call me the Momod. Tater likes to say moderator, as in
The
M-O otter.
Reminds me of apple like sauce, Mott's applesauce though. So I
Right.
don't know where I want to go.
Yeah. No.
I like Mo
here,
moderator or Momod.
here, yes, but here on Twitch, I go by an otter named Momo.
It's a long name to put in your name card though, so you got Momod.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand how it goes.
So, I guess thank you for starting the show for me. That was very appreciative.
Oh, it was such a
I gotta
wonderful
say,
time.
your intro music is pretty bopping. I got some good songs myself though. So.
Oh yes, you do. I can't deny that.
But we'll apparently be going over the previous episode of Black Tower Stories with the Adventures in Nethoria, A New Coast and Same Goblin as the title for Chapter 10. But you're not a player. You're a moderator.
Ah, that is true.
So you're just splashing on into the stream?
You know,
As
I figured it'd be
modders tend to
nice. Well, we do tend to splash around a bit.
do. Stack on stackable cups.
Don't give me the unstackable cups. I will.
I've seen the video. Just put it in proper order. Learn to
Oh my
differentiate colors.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Well, again, thank you for coming in. Thank you, chat, for hopping in here. If you have any questions for myself, or I guess the moderator, if you've ever wondered what it's like to be behind the scenes as a mod for our show, now's your chance to ask them. You can also ask Mod Tater, as he's in the chat as well. If you have any questions for me, specifically for me, now's your chances. There's not another guest here to take the precious spotlight away from me.
Ah, yes, this is true.
I figured it was a good time to test a few things out. Bring down a moderator. We've just recently gotten to 10 of these chapters, so let's bring in a new face. Although this isn't a face.
It's not a face, no.
You can't get the camera to work underwater. Is that what it is?
That is exactly what it is. The camera it doesn't mix well with the salt water. Something about it.
It mix well with water at all. You get one of the GoPros.
Maybe I might have to.
I guess we both kind of moderate the chat for this one because it's kind of awkward now. There is the
Just a little
question
bit.
for Mod. Is the
Ooh.
DM as kill happy off screen as he appears on screen?
That is a wonderful question. From a purely from my point of view, looking in whenever you guys are playing, it doesn't really seem like the DM is kill happy in the middle of the game, but definitely being behind the scenes, there's been some very fun conversations.
If you think the threats on the stream are excessive, like there's some very threatful things said afterwards. The safe space is for players.
It's for players only. Well, then I better tiptoe around some of these questions.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I got a question for you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay.
Do you think you're a mod because of your amazing skills in deductive reasoning, or the fact that you live almost 100% online?
It is 100% because I live 100% online.
Always available.
Yes, I am always available. I was going to be on Twitch for the most part anyways, majority of my life, so I might as well be here and help you guys out.
Just click on this page here. Oh, look, now you're a moderator. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. It was great. You know, that aside, I do enjoy helping out my friends quite a bit. So the fact that it was there and open as an option, it was a no-brainer for me to say, hey, I'll help.
Well, we got to learn things together.
That's
I
true.
have no idea what I'm doing.
You and me both.
You saw my shit show beforehand. It's like, okay, I got all this stuff planned. Let's hope it works.
Yeah. Well,
The wall.
we definitely hoped that it worked. We're throwing spaghetti here, okay?
I love spaghetti. Why are you throwing spaghetti?
I don't like spaghetti, so I mean,
Gross.
not enough seafood.
Yeah. We have another question for our mod. This one is, how salty do you feel that the Black Tower hit 50 followers before you did?
Very. so salty. But I'm also very happy for you guys for actually hitting the 50 followers to make that affiliate jump when you guys do get around to it.
There's a lot of like signing up for stuff, so we have, and there's a lot of us involved with this group, so we want to make sure everything's covered beforehand.
Absolutely.
To make any brash decisions. Brash?
Rash.
Rash? I don't have a rash.
Yes.
I avoid salt water.
Rash as in impatient.
But I'm very impatient when I have a rash, though.
I think
shea cocoa butter going on.
Yes, you definitely got to put that shea cocoa butter, which came into really big use during this session.
No, I'm pretty sure someone like our goblin boy just ate some lotion.
Oh, he absolutely did.
Why,
it was
though?
glorious to watch.
Well,
at
least the goblin was being a goblin, which, as we all know, Bevo is quite the goblin outside of the stuff anyway. We have to reel him in.
Yeah, we definitely.
He's a lot bigger in real life than Gorbek is, so it's a little harder.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, Jace, we have a question for you.
Ooh.
So,
questions.
From the chat, how's Azal doing in these early sessions?
Azal's doing fine. It's just trying to stay alive is a constant. Well, that's more of a personal issue. I always want to try to keep characters alive as possible. I feel like it's my duty to keep the character alive, since everything's my decision. But yeah, she's fine. I mean, we haven't ran into any issues where not being a magic caster has been an issue. So hopefully that maintains forever, and we never go against something that you have to be able to cast magic to kill.
Yes, the one day that you get hit with that monster that is completely immune to physical attacks.
A ghost?
Pretty much.
I got magic weapons for this stuff, man. That's why Gander's there, to supply me with the good stuff.
This kind of leads as a follow-up to one of my own questions that I have, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'll allow it.
So, we all know that Azal is proficient with a bunch of weapons, calligraphies, and stones.
My proficiency with stone is more of a racial thing.
So, what are some other proficiencies that she has that the party and viewers might not be aware of? You know, these are.
She's probably the only one in the party that's proficient in religion. So when Arthur went looking for someone who knows information about religion, like technically he's a religious individual.
Mm.
So like that, it doesn't come up very often. But I mean, why would you go ask the barbarian who kills things brutally? Let's go ask the wizard. Like wizards don't do religion though, so
It's true.
I mean,
It's true.
so like religion's the thing I would think that most people don't really know. It doesn't come up, and it's still an intelligence based. Although I don't have a negative intelligence, he's all still proficient with it. Still a
Yeah.
decent number.
There's certain points in when you're playing that even just having the proficiency is more than enough to override your negative modifier. So
That's I'm also proficient in intimidation, despite having a -1, so it gets me a +1 instead of a -1.
exactly,
That's handy.
it's useful.
It's good for rounding out some of those bad stats. Also, charisma being my dumb stat, I'm one of those -1 charisma characters, which is not good when you're trying to convince people of things. Like, you should probably just shut up sometimes.
Yeah, not the most useful.
I figure violence is a good backup. If
And
charisma is your dumb stat, be good at violence.
it's definitely always a good backup.
I mean, other than like armor that Izal does not wear, like, that's about it. I am proficient in every weapon though. I got that going for me.
Oh, we have a fun question for you actually coming from the chat.
Oh no.
What were you doing when you were shopping for javelins in Air Arnell? Or Ariel?
Oh, I think I touched on this with Arthur. Or Ari asked me the question during last Jason Jace. And I think they asked me in-game as well. I was on a date. I went back, because he's all went back to the guild hall, like she said she was, to go apologize for a certain Volred being a prude, an asshole. And Izal's type is strong, tall person, and the lady is a strong, tall person. So after correcting that issue, they went on, asked her out on a date. And I guess having a -1 charisma doesn't always hurt you.
No, it doesn't.
So I did get javelins, okay, but
you got the javelins.
It was the date night.
You're definitely showing a very strong affinity for the very strong, bulky types.
Big, strong people.
Yep.
That is the type. There's not many people that are tough enough to handle these all, so I figure you probably would need that. I think it's a Zella trait.
Yeah, probably.
Although some of the people that the Zella's married weren't tall, but they were mean.
That's actually hitting on a question that was asked here in the chat too. Gross. Are you able to give any of our new viewers some insight or backstory to the clan Zella?
The Zellas is the last name of Izal Zella, and it's all an acronym of the name of my other name, Alex. So I just move those letters around and spell out words. So my very first character playing D&D was Axel Zella, which is just Alex flipped all around. And that was my favorite character. So like, okay, he got really old. He also had 2 kids of Zale and Yellick. So I was like, well, what if they had kids? And just kind of made my own lineage of a family. And at some point, Kelder was the character I played last campaign. It was Kelder Zella. He actually like kind of time cheated, because he was technically, I think, the great-grandson of Axel. But there's thousands of years gap between when that would have happened and when it happened in our game, because of an issue with basically preserving yourself in amber. So he skipped a bunch of generations. So the timeline looks like the family tree looks really weird, because there's just one line that just goes, and whoop, straight up. Skip all these other stages.
Oh, wow.
And so Kelder Zella is Izal Zella's grandfather. Yeah.
Huh.
So I like the idea of having some form of following a family tree, and I don't think anyone else has that, which I think it's neat. So they asked like, oh, why do you always play a dwarf? It's like, well, I got a cool set of dwarves here. I want to use them. I paid for all these dwarves. I'm going to use it.
I'm going to use them. Damn it! I've got them. I don't know if we can use that kind of language on this.
I paid for the whole speedometer. I'm going to use the whole speedometer.
Right.
Are there questions? There's a question for the moderator. I want to ask you, what kind of character would you add to this party to round it out? Personality-wise or class-wise?
If we're talking personality wise, I'm not sure if there is something I would add. Maybe,
Chaos is already there. You can't add chaos.
yeah, I can't add chaos. That's my typical go-to trope. I can't add smarty pants, which is my second go-to trope.
Got two of them.
Okay, yeah, we got two of them. I can't really add aggression. We got is all.
I am the aggression.
I can't add weird, wacky, or out of place. We've got a lot of them.
Volred and Gorbeck.
We got Volred and Gorbeck. I don't know if I can replace the happy-go-lucky character or add in the happy-go-lucky character because we already have Arthur, who is kind of in that kind of area, wheelhouse. So maybe something that is less intelligence-based, but more...
No, we need.
The
I know
rational
what we
thinker.
need. We need a himbo.
You need a
dumb, charismatic person to just solve our problems with swagger.
Yo, that is something the party is kind of missing.
Charisma score.
A charisma score.
Ain't nobody got that. Except for the bard.
Gorbeck kind of has it, but it's not there.
Well, the problem with Gorbeck being the high charisma character is he counteract that with being a goblin.
Yeah, that's true.
And rolling terrible. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Decent charisma can be easily thwarted with a 2.
A horrible roll changes the entire way a character plays. As far as class is concerned, you guys really need a real support character. Something more along the lines of either a druid or a cleric.
You be a paladin. Come on.
Yeah.
It's perfect. You be that big, dumb himbo paladin.
I'd rather not. You guys are missing a secondary tank because Izal is the HP tank. That is undeniable, but Izal is also supposed to be kind of some frontline damage output.
I am the output. It's me.
Yeah.
Arthur, if Arthur didn't have shit hit points, he'd be a little better at it. But
yeah, he would be. But
you get for rolling a 2.
As of right now, what you really need is something that is a tanky support character or a pure I'm going to sit in the back and heal you support.
So you need a cleric or a druid with high charisma.
Something like that. I mean, it could definitely be worked out somehow. Get warlock druid.
Hell yeah, hexblade.
Hexblade
but
druid.
then just cast shillelagh to piss yourself off. It's like,
right.
I just use my wisdom anyway.
I just use my wisdom.
That's a good set of combination. Like we need charisma in the party. We don't have that.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably need wisdom too. We don't have that either.
Yeah, those are the two things that it looks like the party is missing, at least from my perspective.
Score wise. Though Arthur has higher wisdom, it's not a necessity.
It's not the necessity to him yet. He's a monk.
He punches things.
He does a bunch of things, but it's not necessarily what we're needing here in the situation.
One of the comments: wild shape into a horse and use the shillelagh to hit yourself like a prop.
Oh my gosh!
Check that D8 plus your wisdom score. That's a great idea.
Oh, that's a great idea. And your own wild shape early.
Oh, my hit points.
Oh no.
Oh, there's questions for me. I don't like it. Ask me these questions, Momod.
Oh, I absolutely will. Let me see. Where did we leave off for you?
In the beginning.
How is all feeling about Gorbeck over the top shenanigans?
I think this last episode, I think it was an idea of, I tried to get in the way and stop Gorbeck from doing a lot of stuff in the first 9 sessions. He's gonna do it anyway. I might as well be near him when he does it. So go ahead and find the tavern. Just go ahead and do that. He's gonna try to do it anyway. Let's just keep an eye on him and watch him do it. That's why there's always got to be a Gorbeck person. Someone has to be that has eyes on Gorbeck at all times. Might as well be me. If Gorbeck does something stupid, I'm a great person to be there to handle it.
That's fair enough. That is absolutely
so it's my theory right now. Is I'm on that boys will be boys stage. Like, let's just let him do what he wants for a little while and see if he learns from that. Like, you can only touch the stove while it's hot so many times. So far, he's got barbecued, so hopefully he'll stop touching that stove.
But when you get barbecued, you really don't go back to go touching
Small
that
version
stove.
of fire. I want there to be like a little explosion, see if he gets scared of it. Like,
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
PTSD.
That would be amazing. Just a small little magical explosion goes off in the background, doing it like as prestidigitation or something like that.
What's the fear of fire? Is it
Pyrophobia?
Probably.
That would be my assumption.
Infernophobia.
Infernophobia.
Afraid of the inferno.
Afraid of the Be afraid. Okay. Let me get this next question
There are
here.
questions where you're like, hey, I know good
Yeah,
questions.
some of these are actually really good questions. Not that one. Not that
You
one.
fall off that horse, you get up and you eat that horse.
Did you play a barbarian only for the HP and to mitigate the dwarf 25 foot of movement?
Yes. I wanted
Fair.
a lot of hit points, and if I wanted to mitigate the movement, I mean, I found a way out of that last campaign by magic, but like, if I really wanted to get rid of that, there's like a magic item I probably could have picked up. Also, I like the fact that the barbarian's not dependent on a lot of things. Like, how do you solve your problem? With an axe or a hammer or a sword. Like, if all you have is a hammer, all your problems are like nails. So it's simple. I don't got to worry about thinking about how I'm going to handle this. Like, are they in range? No.
True.
Well, can I get them in range? Yes. Excellent. Option B it is. So, yeah, and the fact D12, that's a big, It's a big number. Even
That's
though I
a
refuse
big
to roll
hit
it
die. That is just a big hit die in general. Even taking the average for it.
Hill Dwarf, that +1 to your HP every level, really take advantage of that. So yeah,
It's super tanky.
I learned in last campaign that your AC doesn't matter. That DM's gonna hit you whenever he wants. So I'm like, well, I might as well get the HP up.
That is a very true statement. Most of the time.
As the cleric, I learned that I am just a target. So
You walk in with that 22 AC, you're feeling great and all, and then the DM says does a 30.
Excellent.
And then the GM says does a 30 hit, and you're like, oh.
You know that shit's a 22.
You know that shit's 22. You know it's gonna hit.
Yeah, that's the barbarian idea. Next character, not a barbarian though.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Fair enough. So, I believe you ask just about everyone this, but you yourself don't get asked. How are you feeling about the game overall so far?
I love Dungeons and Dragons. That's why I have a review show 2 days after the session, so I can talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I can drag people in with me, like, you got to talk to me for an hour now. Ha!
Yeah,
Take that, loser.
Talk about the game with me.
So, like, really, any chance to get to play is great. Any chance to get to see it played is also great. Also, we've already seen some development in people's characters from this beginning, so that's the excitement part. You get to see the growth of the characters, that's what's exciting. So yeah, I feel great about the campaign so far.
Oh, good.
Gorbeck will eventually die because of stupidity.
He does currently lead the Deadpool.
He's doing it, I think, specifically to thwart my theory that you die 99% of the time in combat. It's like he's going to be that 1%. So,
yeah.
At the end of the campaign, I will pull out the stats, and it will show Gorbeck has taken the most damage in and out of combat. If you subtract his out of combat, he will not have taken the most damage.
I am ready for that statistic at the end of the game.
It's like, Izal in second place with most damage taken at 2,860. Gorbeck in first place with 8,520 points of damage. 8,000 of that being out of combat. It's like, I hate you, Gorbeck.
I hate you so much.
Statistically, just pissed me off.
So as a follow-up to that question, is there anything that surprised you so far outside of Gorbeck's shenanigans?
Surprising. I mean, we've all interacted fairly well. The most surprising part is the fact that Gorbeck continues to push buttons.
Mm.
But I understand Bevo's a chaos incarnate as a player now.
That is true.
Like, I played with him briefly in the previous campaigns. He popped on and off. Like, he was fairly chaotic there. And now that he's just full goblin mode, like, oh boy, I thought this was a phase. Wonder what level this will finally go out. You'll grow out of this emo stage. No, never.
No, never.
Great. So that was surprising that he. I mean, he's got to know these are bad decisions.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got to.
Like, but there's that thing in the back of his head saying, "But what if it's actually a great decision?" It proceeds to do. He listens to the small voice that you're not supposed to listen to. Like when you're on a bridge or you're driving on a very tall bridge, like, I could just drive this car right off the edge of here. I could, but then that's the small voice that says do it. You're not supposed to listen to that voice. You're supposed to listen to the continue driving like a regular person voice.
Well, when you're playing that kind of character that's supposed to be that chaos incarnate, you always listen to the small voice. You turn that thing up to 11 and you just let it go.
What if I robbed the wizard?
What if I robbed the wizard?
I am a little curious as to whether or not Caleb's book is cursed or not.
That is a wonderful question. Me too.
It's got to be something. It's too juicy not to curse the shit out of that thing.
There's no way
that
it's not.
Hashtag it's cursed.
It's either cursed.
It's going to take over his body.
Possessed by some demon, yada, yada, yada. Ends up being his go-to to becoming a wizard warlock in the future.
just an unpopular build where you go tome warlock. Like, why?
Right.
Like, why would you go tome warlock? You're already a wizard. Because you really want that guidance cantrip. That's why.
You need that guidance cantrip. It's important. Think of all the advantage you're missing out on.
I love guidance. What else do we have?
I've got more questions for you if you want me to keep firing them off.
Yes, give me more. And I will question. After this one, I'll give you a question.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
So, I have 2 questions that I kind of want to just put together here. They came from the chat.
Whoosh.
All right. So, how much do you regret having less HP than average HP after rolling HP on level 2? And furthermore, when you inevitably lose one of your 3 tridents, how much are you going to regret that?
Well, as far as the HP goes, I am upset every time I look at it. Like, you could be too higher, but now you'll never be too higher. Because I refuse to roll ever again. Because statistically, percentage-wise, it doesn't make any sense for me to roll. I'm like, oh man. I've looked at the number at level 20 of what my hit points can be, and it's an astronomical number. But now knowing that's going to be 2 less, like, I hate you. I hate that. That's why I'll never roll. Especially with the D6, I'll roll for a D6. D12, no.
But does having less now mean that it'll be an even number at level 20?
At level 20? No.
Dang.
It's one of those weird numbers. It might be an even number, but I don't know. It's -2, so either way it'd be an even number, plus or minus 2.
Yeah.
That's for the second part. Losing a trident inevitably is only attached to one weapon. That's the axe she has. Every other weapon is disposable for a reason. Like, they're not meant to be indestructible and last forever. My axe, however, is very, very durable, and it's meant to last a lifetime. Hell, it didn't get any use from its previous owner, so I mean, someone's got to use it. Now, losing the axe, that'd be important. Losing the tridents and things, I purposely bought a third one in case I lost one of them or more. I've already gone through most of my javelins. I had to go buy more. I'm the only one who's bought weaponry because I'm the only one who uses it.
Yeah, you are. But just thinking about it, what's going to happen? You bought 3 of those tridents, specifically knowing you're going into water and you're almost always guaranteed to lose something when you go in the water.
So it's a trident? Fine, that's what it's for. I'm fine with that. All right, I've got a question for you, Momo, Mr. Moderator.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So you run your own Twitch as well. You stream.
Yes, I do.
Story on your Twitch. How many games have you streamed on your Twitch? This is not the question. It's part of the question.
Currently two. I've streamed Pokemon and Maple Story.
What other games are you looking forward to streaming? Because you can't just do Pokemon and Maple Story. You got to branch out, do something exciting.
Right, right. You got to do a couple things here and there. Um, Games I'm looking forward to branching out into. Subnautica actually is one that I plan at some point in the near future to end up doing.
That's that one where it's
That's
like creepy underwater shit, right?
Oh
Where
yes, it
just
is.
every fear you could ever have of going underwater is real life.
Every possible fear of the ocean,
Not a fan of that.
all in one game.
I don't want no underwater horror.
It is definitely underwater horror. Funnily enough, they didn't make it intending it to be underwater horror, and it just went that way.
I feel like they fucked up on a graphic. It's like, well, it's underwater now.
Yeah, that's actually how
Here we
it
go.
went through in their development.
How do we get rid of all the water? I have no idea. It's a feature now. Don't worry about it.
It's quite amusing. But aside from that, I do enjoy playing Portal, so at some point I am going to have that on my stream. And I don't know how well it'll do given the fact that it is no longer the main series game for it, but Monster Hunter World is a game that I enjoy playing, and hopefully I can get some people out to watch that one at some point in the future too.
So in the future, when our Black Tower Stories adds its Black Tower Games branch, and we start streaming games, will you come play games with me?
Oh, absolutely.
What if I make you play Fortnite?
Uh,
I need someone worse than me. That's the only reason I would invite you.
that's actually a fair thing. I am not good at first-person shooters at all, and even third-person shooters. I don't do them very well, but I'd do it if you asked.
I just need someone to look worse than me. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
That won't be hard. That won't be hard. I naturally suck at most games that I play that require any reaction timing.
You play Maple Story? That's a game.
Yeah, but otters don't have thumbs.
Just smash your hand on the table like this.
Well, that's what I do whenever I'm playing Maple Story. You can hear it if you pay close enough attention with over the music. It's just
banging pots and pans in the background.
Pots and pans in the background.
Like, that's not even necessary, but sure. There is another question for you, but this one, I don't know if you want to go into detail on it. This one's for the Momo moderator. You know you hate the lutrophobia of Arthur. How would you play on that if you were able to put on an event or in person in the game? I know. I would just surround him with otters.
Oh yeah,
scare the shit out of him that way.
Totally. So, I've had my fair share of DMing. Some of it's not the greatest. Some of it's pretty good. It's kind of hit or miss. So what I would do, because I had a wonderful time doing this in my own game as a small little one-shot, I have an otter kingdom that I made up for my players to go into. It was nothing but the perfect paradise for otters. I'd leave them trapped in there for like 6 weeks.
Kiss. Oh god, it's just horrifying.
It's just absolutely horrifying.
I imagine the scene of Frieza in Hyfel, in the other world, where he's just wrapped up, being tortured with nice things. Like,
yes.
that'd be Arthur. It's like, I want to kill myself.
It'd be so amazingly great. But thank you, Tater, for saying that. Yes, it was called
pumpkin thing, a pumpkin dragon.
It was called in the Halls of the Otter King, and it was done for Halloween. So I had a whole bunch of Halloween themed stuff, and they were supposed to get the spirit of Halloween to leave the Otter Kingdom. It was great.
These otters hate Halloween.
Oh no, it was just they overstayed their welcome.
Look, you ate all the food. Fucking leave.
Yep. The entire month of October to me has been completely renamed to October. So.
Because you are an otter.
Yes, I am an otter.
Ooh, ask me a question.
Okay. I've got one of my own.
Oh.
I know. I am going to go away from the
Because I can
chat's
look at the
questions
list
here.
and I can see the questions over there. Like, oh, these are cool.
So everyone knows that D&D isn't played inside a vacuum. You've always got to have outside media that comes in and influences you here and there, changes up your story, how you design it, so on and so forth. So what media outside of D&D do you often turn to when making a character, and what influences all the most outside of D&D?
I get hopped up on illicit psychedelics and then scream into a recorder and then I listen back to it a month later. No.
That's that's one
I
heck of a
got
way
this
to go.
I had this crazy idea. Gecko top hat. Let's go.
Let's
Oh
go.
boy. No, I'm influenced by a lot of things the same way everyone else is. Different media. I think, unironically, the campaign I'm running, because when I write except for my own, I accidentally copied a lot of stuff from the first campaign of Critical Role, not knowing what the hell. Like I hadn't watched Critical Role when I was writing the stuff up, and like there's like dragons invading stuff now. There's like there's a bunch of undead things. Like shit. And I had an idea for my main boss. Like, well, this is kind of very similar. Shit, fuck. I've unintentionally done that. But other things like Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I don't know how much I've borrowed from it though. There's any type of myth, like in history of like magical weaponry, of like legend, rumors of like I put Baba Yaga in my campaign, based it not off of the D&D lore entirely, but
Yep,
off of
and it
its
was
real life
fun.
lore.
That
And
was such a
did
fun.
not. And Baba Yaga was just a sassy bitch apparently, because that's all I put her as. So I get in my world, I get inspired by everything. So when it comes to making a character, it's just it's a twofold thing. It's like I don't really look at media for inspiration. Although I can make a character based off of a thing. Like I can make Bowser, I can make Nightcrawler. I can do that. That's easy. That's just applying information to stats. But when it comes to like a character, it's like the idea just has to be something I want to play. Like I played a surly Scottish wizard. Well, I wanted to play a surly Scottish person for a while, and I didn't have an avenue to do it. But I also wanted to play an abjuration wizard. I was like, well, how do I put these two together? I was like, well, let's just make this dude. And now it's Magnus is just
the biggest fucking nope wizard.
Just the big asshole in the fucking party, but like he's there. So it's just combining ideas and just running with it. He's always like, I want to combine Zella and just a whole bunch of hit points. Barbarian. There we go. Here we go.
That's fair enough. That is
Characters
fair
aren't
enough.
so much influenced by media for me. It's the worlds that I make that are usually done that way.
Okay. Interesting answer. I don't see any more questions for you from the chat. So I think I went through all the ones that we have here.
Oh yeah, because you combine a bunch of them into one question. That's true.
It was useful.
So, other than Gorbeck, who is top of your list for the Deadpool?
Well, if I can't put Gorbeck there,
Gorbeck's like, it's like who's number 2?
Who's number 2? At this point, as much as I'd hate to say it, it's probably Caleb. Wizards don't tend to last long whenever they get into the mix of things.
Is that because he has the same hit points as the monk?
No, it is because Eric likes to focus on the big damage dealers and healers. And a wizard is a big damage dealer.
Well, if he ever learns to disengage, I guess you're right. I mean, he just needs to Misty Step. Just teleport your way out of the situation. But we got to get to level 3 at some point. Level 3, that's the big one.
True. Yeah, that's when a lot of the big spells start to come online.
2's got a lot. Well, that's a question for you. Out of all the spell levels, which is your favorite spell level?
Personally, my favorite spell level? Ooh, that's a hard question.
I like 3. Because 3 is the best.
3's got so much to it. Because you got things like Fireball, Thunderbolt, or Lightning Bolt, not Thunderbolt, all that stuff in there. But so
I'm looking
I'm
at
going to
the
say
chat
this.
as they're trying to rearrange the letters in Jace.
Oh yeah, and there is a question for that
Yeah.
for a couple of things there. So personally, I do like having my 8th level spells because there's a lot of them that do absolutely nothing in combat. You can't use them for a whole lot of different situations, but there's very niche applications for them, and they are wonderful there. Like setting up traps and stuff like that. I believe Maze is an 8th level spell.
I've used Maze.
Oh yeah, such a fun spell.
You just don't get to be here anymore. Bye.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Big fan of just ending the combat with combat. It's necessary. Just leave.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like the higher level ones, I would probably appreciate them more if it weren't for the fact that for one, you got to get to that high level,
And you
two,
only get
you
one
only
of
get
them.
the one slot. I think you
Yes.
get 2 7s. I think it's the most you get out of them. I don't know if you get 2 8s.
You
but
do not get 2 8s. You only get one level
Get
8.
1 9, 1 8,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 7s at level 20. I think.
It's
I'm not
something
sure.
like that. You have to be way up there for it.
But their spells are cool. Some of them are kind of meh, but
Yeah.
the way I see it, cast the meh spell and they just ask the DMs like, "Hey, can I change this to make it do something slightly more annoying, but still do no damage?" Like,
Yeah, because I mean, if you're expending an 8th level spell slot, you might as well get something fun out of it.
I like third though. The third you got counter spell.
Oh yeah,
You have lightning bolt. You have
Counterspell,
the
lightning
fireball. Revivify,
everyone's favorite. Yeah,
haste, fly.
a lot of your big utility spells come out of level 3.
I think they stuck them all at level 3 because you only have so many level 3 slots. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, you got 3 of these. Here are 8 spells that you wish you could use. You don't want to prepare them all, but you kind of want to.
And you're only going to ever be able to use one of them
Also, their
continuously.
concentration.
Yep,
Fuck.
exactly.
That sweet spot of 3rd through 5th level.
Mm. Hey, they're definitely a lot of your good spells are in that point. I've got a couple of 1st level spells that I'm a fan of, but they don't see a lot of application. I've got a question for you.
What?
Yeah, this is coming from the chat.
Oh, good. I thought it was from you. Like,
No, this is not
Garbage.
mine. I've got one more planned up for you, but that'll come later. So, being producer, how much time do you spend on setup for the streams?
/seducer. You know, I put that.
Oh
in there.
yes, producer/seducer.
That's right. Well, you saw what I set up. Generally, for each stream, I get my stuff set up like right beforehand, unless there's something I have to change.
Yeah.
So like we start setting up. The Zoom goes out at 7:30, so I'll start setting up at 7:25. Unless I might already be on my OBS editing things and moving things around for stuff I want to change or introducing new art. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And it's a matter of, is everyone going to be here tonight? If they aren't, then I have to set up for that. Everything else is just pretty straightforward. Adjacent with Jace takes more setup than the regular one because it requires typing and changing shit.
Yeah, that's true. Because you have to go in and you have to change who's.
I change your name. I change the title. I change. I'll have questions sometimes typed up for it, so I'll go through and change all of those. If there's art, I have to add art. So that's more specific to myself, but that's also something I can do while I have like YouTube on. So
Yeah,
I also do an introduction for my Adjacent with Jace, which I try to do different every time. So that's another issue. So Adjacent with Jace, harder to produce than Adventures in Athoria. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
That one has more pressure though, because
if
my shit goes down during that one, that's important story that you're missing. It goes down during here. I was like, fuck it, we'll just record it.
Fuck it, we'll do it again. Exactly. Well, the way I see it is that you have your setup for Adventures in Athoria kind of like how I have my normal stream setup. You've got all your panels and layouts already positioned and set up, and you can just easily click through them. You don't have to change anything. Whereas with the Adjacent with Jace, you've got so much more that you have to go in and change out. It's
mostly typing. That's the thing with Adjacent with Jace. I have to type in different things.
Yeah.
Although for this one, I had to do a little bit more.
Yeah, this one was fun.
I was working on some of the stuff for this one till like 11 o'clock last night because I wanted to change up some things. I mean, Momo hacked my system and did more OBS stuff than he's normally used to.
Oh, it was totally all me. I hacked in through.
I'm going to
his
skip
stuff.
ahead and go to the mod question here. As a viewer yourself, because this is important, you watch all of our stuff too.
Yes.
What feedback would you give each cast member, like everyone's individual stuff? It can be their character, it can be how they play, their setup.
Ooh.
Some of that also might be directed towards me because some of it's just me being lazy and not wanting to fix it.
So I'll start with the easy places first. Gorbeck. Bevo. Just chill out a little bit. That's all you gotta do. All your friends in the party are giving you that same bit of advice. Just take it. Calm down. Think.
Nah. Like I said, he's thinking. It's just he's listening to the small voice.
Right, he's listening.
That's Bevo in real life too.
That's Bevo.
Listen to that small voice. Bevo's shaking his head right now. Like,
so
you're lying. I'll do whatever.
I know, right? He probably is. For Brad, because I think he's playing his character beautifully. I really do. It's so great. He just has to be. It almost feels like he's not as confident in doing some of the stuff when he's doing it. Like, there are some genuinely funny moments that are coming out of it, but it's just think about the action that you're wanting to do and just go full into it.
Just do it. Worst thing happens is you'll take less damage than Gorbeck has.
Yeah, exactly.
There's almost no downside.
And that's all in the RP, okay? In combat, he's flawless. So
I don't know. He could have ducked around that corner.
He could have ducked around that corner just a little bit more. But, everyone's had their moments.
That Volred and Gorbeck, their players could learn from each other. Like, kind of take some from the other one, take some from the other one, be more confident, be less confident. Bevo, be less confident.
Bevo, be less confident. Rab, be a little more confident.
Just make a decision. I'm not going to tell you no. Do it.
Aside from that, I honestly don't have much in terms of things that I would actually tell people for advice and stuff like that. The characters themselves, I think, are playing the way that they're going to play regardless. The players, the other remaining ones there, are arguably more experienced with this game than I am.
We are flawless. I will say this: Aaron needs to not slouch as much.
Yeah,
we send him messages during the thing like, "Dude, you're slouching. You're off center."
If he could just sit up a little more, I could definitely. It'd be perfect. But
question there is also about the DMs. Like, I would also give that same advice to the DM: quit moving around your chair. Like I set your camera for a reason.
Yeah.
If you can watch it from the beginning of the stream, it'll be nice and center. End of the stream,
and then it just
slowly
tilts out of the view, and it's like, well, what the heck? Come back. As for the DM, I think I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Careful with the sex puns, or the opportunity for sex puns, because we will.
Yes, be careful with those. Your players will take them.
I mean, so you sent us cockatrice up the first time we went to get something like big mistake. Penis jokes all around.
Yeah. Yep. It's too much.
There's a question for both of us.
Ooh.
What is your favorite monster to hate? I don't have a hated monster. I love all monsters.
I have a number 1 followed by a number 2.
I have kind of like I have a rational fear of black puddings, like the giant ones, just because they're very dangerous. They seem unassuming, and they just wreck a lot of shit. Like, don't really want to.
They're so fun. I love the oozes whenever you put them in. They're fun.
I just kind of hate them just because they're irritating. It's like I haven't gone against a rust monster. Eventually that'll happen. But
eventually,
gray ooze, according to our DM in the chat.
Yeah.
It was a gray use that effed up Omlik. Oh yeah, Omlik called himself Omlik in the last session.
That was so good. It was so good. But as far as my monster that I hate, just absolutely hate, starts with an S and ends in a D and ends with a tater getting pushed into a box.
It's a slad.
It's a slad.
All of the slad.
All of them, just universally across the board. I do not like slads. Slad is a banned term in my chat. It is automatically set up to ban you out if you say it.
I didn't know that. I kind of want to. How long's the ban?
I think it's like a 600-second ban.
Oh, I kind of want. I'm gonna do that tomorrow then.
It's not a permanent ban, but it is definitely there. It is set up. It was set up specifically after Tater said something about it in my own chat, and so that was a very quick.
So you heard that, everyone. Tomorrow around noon is when our moderator Momod's Twitch streaming.
Yes.
Go in there, type slad, wait 60 seconds, and type it again.
Oh my gosh.
You'll lose all your followers because they're trolling.
I know, right?
You never tell people that there's a banned word because they're gonna type the banned word.
They are going to type the banned word, but there are good things that to inform people about. Like, so I don't know how many of you pay attention to any of the MapleStory stream. Probably none of you. All right, in the community over there. But for a good little time, there was a guild in the game that was going around with one of its members that got kicked out, and they were really, really upset about it. And so they set up a bot to go into all of the Twitch streams and just immediately start saying that guild was recruiting, and it just flooded all of their chats like every second. And so like it was widely announced across every MapleStory stream, if you say anything about that guild, you're getting banned out just immediately. It was set up as a ban term across the entire community.
Kind of want to organize a raid for your stream. Just get like a big time YouTuber to go on there and raid you, and everyone just says slad. Watch your bot go crazy, banning 5,000 people.
Right. Yeah. Oh my god.
We break it. Nightbot just dies. It quits. Like, I'm done.
Yeah, it will.
What's you said there's a secondary.
Second place though for me. Yes, second place is Intellect Devourers.
It's all the things that kill you.
I have only ever died with one character, actually. No, two. It was two characters. The Slads is not because they killed me. They would have killed me if not for DM intervention. All right. But the Intellect Devourers, it was because the DM killed me with them. And he did not apologize for it. He probably did.
You were blinded with rage.
I was blinded with rage. I was playing a barbarian.
Is Intellect Devourer banned in your chat?
No, it is not. Although it probably should be.
I'm going to make it to the list pretty soon.
No, it might.
I'm going to get raided tomorrow.
It was not a fun moment for me. But
I can understand that. I was hoping you were going to say Bone Claw, but then I remembered, Intellect Devourer killed you.
I do actually enjoy the Bone Claws. They're just a little tougher than I was hoping they would be, but at the same time, they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. They really are. At least they don't have some BS mechanic that automatically kills you, and they're a CR1 monster.
I thought they were like one half. Oh well. Yeah, I don't apologize. I killed Tater's character with Tater's favorite creature.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Zorn. It's like, oh, they're adorable. Oh, they're killing you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question for both of us. What's your favorite art so far, and what art are you looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, I just saw that one.
You first.
Okay, so my favorite art so far is the Gandor art.
The F the system.
The establishment. Yes.
I like its cartooniness.
So it's so good.
It's probably my favorite one. Other than I constantly get art commissioned for myself, so yeah, I'm partial to anything that's got a character that I'm in it. So
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And what about
F Gander's good.
F. Gander? Yes, that is so good. What is yours?
My favorite art is, I don't want to cop out and say that it was the one that I had commissioned, but it's the second one I had commissioned, the one with two axes,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like fully colored, and she kind of has like I think she has a ring in her nose or something, and tattoos on. I really like that one. That was really cool. I like the style. It's very thick axe style.
Yes, definitely is.
Thick Izal.
As far as upcoming art, I kind of want to see a picture of Arthur surrounded by otters, just in pure terror.
I want to see a full group. I like group pictures where it's like different drawings of them, not just cropped together, but like they're kind of actually placed where they're supposed to be. I think that'd be pretty cool.
But an actual group picture where it is intentionally drawn as a group picture.
Everyone smile for the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome to see.
Mizak, the Mizak one where he's being adorable, that was pretty good too.
Sailor Suit Mizak is so good.
Forgot about that one.
Sailor Suit Mizak is so good.
Still gonna put these all ahead of it, but Sailor Suit Mizak, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Caleb needs to polymorph art into an otter. It's like
yes, he does.
Never see someone commit suicide so fast.
Never.
What am I? I've become what I hate the most.
Oh no!
Just rip your skin off.
I'm looking at the time here.
I'm off like 6 minutes or so. Favorite magic item.
Oh, favorite magic item.
It's a classic.
It is a classic. I thought I had an answer for this one. I thought I did. As boring as it sounds.
If you say a fucking +2 crossbow, I'm gonna shoot you.
It's a luck stone.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Because it is so useful. +1 to all your saves, +1 to all your skills.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it. As a very basic item, whenever you're starting off in your characters, finding it in general is so good.
Yeah, you know, it's a really good idea. Giving it back to the dead the family.
To the family. Yep.
That's
such a good idea.
My bad.
Oh.
Too nice of a person, I guess.
Yeah.
I've said my favorite magic items multiple times, so
yes, you have.
The question for me is, what do I do when I run out of ways of spelling letters Alex? Well, you go to Alexander. And then you use my last name, which is why I have a character named Kelder, which I'm not saying the last name. But
no.
And it's just utilizing those letters in any way. And there's literally a name generator that if you give them those letters, it'll give you names with just those letters.
There's an infinite number of possibilities.
Yeah. It's why Izal has 4 siblings that I just use the generator for. It's like, I am not thinking about this. Generate. Yeah.
Generate.
Dander Axel. There is a family rule that you're not allowed to name your children Axel. Axel's never been called.
It's a very important one.
Not saying before Axel there wasn't other Axels. It's just
after Axel.
When the Axel became the main one, like no one names their kid after that one. They'll be like naming your kid. What's the name? You can name a lot of Mohammeds. It's like naming your kid Jesus, but not Jesus. You literally call them Jesus. It's kind of
it's kind of frowned upon. Yeah, it's kind of frowned upon.
I don't think you can get away with AXL.
I don't think you can either.
Like, it would still be saying Axel.
Yeah,
Axolotl.
that's. Axolotls are amazing.
Polymorph an axolotl.
Yeah, just polymorph someone into an axolotl. If you don't mind, I'd like to get my last question here done.
No,
if you don't, no.
Quit putting different forms of axle. You cannot use axle.
You can't. You just can't use it. It's done. So.
Axol.
Azal.
Mm-hmm.
If you call them Azel.
Yeah, if you would Azel, maybe.
Azel.
Put an E at the end of that.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, for my final question that I have prepared out, if/when the stream gets big enough to start gaining some attention, who is one celebrity you'd like to have guest star in the story?
Big fan of Matt Mercer, but that's not likely. So I would love to get like Travis Willingham. Oh no! I thought about it today actually. Like
Yeah?
who? Because I was thinking like, how if I could get a guest on for a Jason with Jace, who would I get? I would get Brandon Lee Mulligan from Dimension 20. So I think he'd be great to play with as well. So I'd probably go with him.
That's a good choice.
Probably not as busy as Matt Mercer or Travis Willingham is either. A little bit more likely.
Probably not. Probably not.
Can I say Ryan Reynolds because it'll never happen?
You never know. You got those connections in with the epic voice guy. So
yeah, that's true. I can just get him on and just put a picture of him.
Just get him on and have
I need
him.
to just do Ryan Reynolds today.
Ryan Reynolds.
Like, okay, your check cleared.
Your check cleared. Everything is good.
I'll get him to do like, if I get him to do an intro for this shit. Anyway, yeah. So,
Anyways.
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Brandon Lee Mulligan. Nice choice.
I read the comment. Alexander or Xanderol. Now I sound like a medication. Side effects include an axe to the face. Apply directly to the forehead. Repeat as necessary.
Oh yes, that is definitely a side effect for the Zella characters.
Anger, poor relationship problems. Anyway, it is almost 9 o'clock. We've been on for an hour. We did our little fun thing today with Momo. Thank you for coming on. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
If you haven't already, feel free to go over to the otter named Momo, or the whatever your name is.
Here, I'll spell it out in the chat.
I think it's already got copy pasted in there multiple times. Go to our moderators Twitch so we can mess with him tomorrow around 12 o'clock and get all of us get banned in one day. Follow him. He's pretty close to his affiliate. He's been excited.
I am so close.
He's trying to push for it. If you like Mabel's story, that's one thing. If you don't like Mabel's story, I follow him just to mess with him.
Yeah, he does.
So if you haven't, follow us on our Twitch, follow us on our YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on Twitter and Facebook to get updated every time we update something. Our previous episodes of Jason and Jace and Adventures of Athoria are on our YouTube. That way you can always go back and watch them. We are working on a way to get a podcast form of it. That way you can just listen to it without having to have your YouTube app open. But that might take some time. It is in the works. But again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Momod, for coming on here and being whatever this weird otter thing is.
Thank you for having me.
But everyone have a wonderful evening. This episode of Jason and Jace will be on Saturday like it normally is. And join us next week for Tuesday as we come back for Chapter 11 of Adventures in Athoria. So see you next Tuesday, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
We transition out of here properly.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wonder. Louder we sing, no there is no cure in this together.